role in diabetes plus metabolic disease. Let's hear from Dr. Bhattacharya, his views on DPP-4 inhibitors.
Thank you very much. It's a very nice experience. I feel very good that so many people, so many friends have seen. It's the first time I'm coming in this symposium. Next, around 13, 14 minutes, I'm going to take you through about the evolving evidence with DPP-4 inhibitor and implication to practice. There are some new data come with the linagliptin. That is the main purpose of doing it. This is my simple disclaimers. I don't have any share in the pharmaceutical company, and although I get the slide help from different people, I certainly take all the responsibility of the text of my slides. We all understand in every meeting we see the similar slide that there are several challenges, and that's the reason we can't just photocopy one prescription of the type 2 diabetes and give it to everybody. There are risk of hypoglycemia, cost of therapy, complication, dose adjustment, comorbidity, weight, adherence, tolerability, and everything. And I think the second time the picture of my Guruji is coming, but the main reason I'm telling, even if he is a big stature, he can't put his shoe into Jayadidis because one shoe does not fit all. And our similar way, all our people cannot be taking the same medicine. There will be a different value for a young diabetic which is newly diagnosed, say around 37 year, or somebody a heart failure 48 year, or somebody elderly with a history of hypoglycemia, and somebody has renal impairment. And that's the reason we need to make a quick assessment when you are in front of our patient and some more number of people are queuing up in our waiting room. One of the best way will be to think of these three E's: efficient, effective, easy to understand, and error-free. We don't want side effect. We don't want a problem. And that's very, very important. Neither our patient wants. You have seen these pictures. This is the recent one, 2020. Everybody showing ADA, so I thought I'll just project AAC. Basically, the similar nature, only the combination of therapy matches. But one thing stands very clear, as Professor Chandrali was telling, DPP-4 inhibitor is a very well-tolerated medicine. It has low risk of hypoglycemia, it is weight neutral, and currently we have enough data to tell that it is cardiovascularly safe. Safety profile is very good. Only one side effect which we see, which probably we neglect, is that upper respiratory infection like a coryza. We pass it on allergy. If you are in Bangalore, it's a Bangalore allergy, very common to tell, but probably because of the gliptin molecule. It doesn't have much interaction with other medicine. Most of the medicines in this group does not require much adjustment, particularly linagliptin does not require any dose adjustment. It becomes very easy for us. And the compliance as such good. There are data on the real world experience that DPP-4 inhibitor probably has the best compliance of all the diabetes molecule. And that pushes me to show you this particular statement for the ADA ESD position statement. The DPP-4 inhibitors remain the best tolerated of any glucose-lowering medications, and therefore they should retain their position in the stepped approach of the diabetes therapy when other agents are not specifically indicated or preferred. We wanted to mean that atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease type. So if you compare the standard DPP-4 inhibitor like a CETA, LINA, VILDA, SAXA, HbA1c reduction is reasonably same, although probably CETA and LINA is little better than the other. But the fact remains, there are data from Asia that we have more DPP-4 activity. So DPP-4 inhibitor actually have a higher efficacy in Asian people in comparison to Caucasian people. And in this study, you see that the left panel, the Asian people, 6-month study, HbA1c reduction from a baseline of 8.0 to 0.9%, which is pretty good. And from Caucasian, from baseline of 7.9, it is reducing to 0.5%. So we have every reason to believe that a DPP-4 inhibitor is a very good choice for our people. Now, if you come to the clinical trial, one set of trial, the TICOS with sitagliptin, examined with alogliptin, Savartim with the saxagliptin, has taken very high cardiovascular risk. Whereas we have a Carolina trial, which is our beginning patients whenever you start seeing type 2 diabetes, a low cardiovascular risk and kidney risk, And Carmelina trial is a high cardiovascular and high kidney risk. Actually, Carmelina is a wonderful trial because it has really included very sick people. And both Carolina and Carmelina, that's why they make a complementary profile. So one hand, Carolina is our day-to-day patient, low CV, low kidney risk, and the Carmelina on the other hand, very high CV and the kidney risk. And you have seen this type of data again and again. Just to highlight a few pointers, these statistics, we understand that anything which is in 1, which means neutral, anything here, it will favor our molecule. We are talking about gliptin. Anything goes that side, it fares placebo. So as you see that here, all these gliptins, this coming absolutely the one line. So that means there is no harm. So for the cardiovascular safety is concerned, whether it is Saxa, Sita, Allo, or linagliptin, they are very safe, they are neutral. Teneligliptin has a bit issue. I'm going to show you one slide. Vildagliptin, we don't have a cardiovascular outcome trial, but one trial has recently published, a VV trial, actually goes completely against them because it has some problem doing that. I'm not trying to campaign against teneligliptin. All of us write teneligliptin, but just a few points. Dose more than 40 milligram, the chance of QTc interval prolongation is very high. And particularly if your person is taking azithromycin, astamizole, tarfenadine, thiazide, antiarrhythmic drugs, you need to be very careful to use teneligliptin because they can cause cardiac arrhythmia. Now, if you come to the heart failure, we all discussed so much about saxagliptin. It worsens heart failure. It is right of the one, whereas allogliptin and sitagliptin are neutral. But you see, linagliptin in the Carmelina trial, actually there is a beneficial effect. It did not reach statistical significance, correct? But there is definite evidence that it is a bit better. And no doubt for that, FDA has clearly told that even if people have a heart failure, without fear, we can use Sita and Lina, but we need to be a bit careful about the vildagliptin. Now, if you see the similar trial about hospitalization for the heart failure, North American population, comparison with the placebo and linagliptin. This is placebo linagliptin. Linagliptin causes reduction of hospitalization for heart failure around 35%. And if you take the Asian subgroup, even if the numbers are a bit less, just less than 600, but we have more benefit. That may be one of the reasons we try to always tell that gliptins are actually more effective in our people. So we can reduce the hospitalization for the heart failure by around 53%, including all-cause hospitalization. With the linagliptin, it reduces by around 26%. Now, if you move to the high cardiovascular to the high kidney, you see this benefit of albuminuria progression, pre-specified microvascular complication, left of 1, which is the beneficial for with the linagliptin. The same way I tried to tell you at the beginning, so this is our Carolina, this is our Carmelina. The Carolina are shorter duration diabetes, low cardiovascular renal risk, but Carmelina, longer duration diabetes, nearly 15 years average duration of diabetes with a high cardiovascular mortality. Both of them had showed actually we can use linagliptin from early diabetes to prevent target organ damage, beta glycemic control to prevent advanced disease from just at the risk to symptomatic to asymptomatic stage of all our type 2 diabetes spectrum. Now that's about our clinical trial experience. If you see the real world experience, this is data from US, more than 1.5 lakh people, and which again showed that if you compare linagliptin and sulfonylurea, there are 23% reduction of the risk of composite CV outcome. Linagliptin showed a favorable effect to the CVFT also in comparison to the other DPP inhibitor. This is the US data, although they did not reach the statistical significance. But we have a data from Asia. This is a 5 lakh people from the Korea. And it again showed that 26% relative risk reduction. This is our sulfonylurea. This is our linagliptin. So it reaches the statistical significance. 26% risk reduction of hospitalization for the heart failure with linagliptin in comparison to sulfonylurea. The main reason of focusing this point is that when Sevotrimi came, all of you got scared, and the gliptin as a group got a black box warning that if the patient is a heart failure, you do not use gliptin. Probably all these molecules are not the same. That's one to highlight, and actually linagliptin can be a bit better for the heart failure control. Now, if we just summarize whatever I tried to tell last around 10 minutes, here we take a high CV risk, heart failure, and high kidney risk. And here I put all these gliptins which we are using. So vildagliptin, we don't have much data, we don't have here as well. Saxagliptin, there is a clear signal, safety signal for heart failure people. Teneligliptin, particularly with a higher dose, and people who have a cardiac arrhythmia, and people you are giving all those medicine, has a cardiac risk. Sitagliptin is pretty good. It's a proven safety for severe risk. TCOS trial, heart failure proven safety. Kidney risk, we don't have a lot of trial, but after Carolina trial, it is pretty clear that linagliptin is clear from all 3 points: cardiovascular risk, heart failure, and high kidney risk. And one of the added point using linagliptin is that we do not need to adjust the dose. The same dose we can give throughout the every GFR. So it's the broadest clinical evidence at this point. So for the efficacy and safety in the DPP4 class with cardiovascular trial and real world experience. So that's my take-home message. Despite the gliptins work same way, all the gliptins, despite they reduce the HbA1c almost the same, probably 1 or 2 little bit difference, but there is a difference. And this lady unfortunately does not understand the difference because she thinks this the color of the dress is same, the style of the dress is same, but why the hell my husband is looking to the other lady? Thank you very much for your attention.